on Board Offline. So I am out of town, but I did film the setup for our next gameplay, which is going to be Joan of Arc Time of Legends Joan of Arc. I filmed that setup before I left town, so I want to go in and get that out to you. It'll be a few days before I can start filming the rest of the gameplay. This is a Kickstarter that is really mostly a two-player, one versus one game. It does have some three-player scenarios, some four-player scenarios, and so far it has one solo scenario. There's a lot of examples of 2, 3, and 4-player games out there or sessions for this game out there. So I wanted to get the solo scenario out there to you because obviously that's a lot of what I do on the channel anyway. Now we'll say that the rules for the solo scenario leave a little bit to be desired, so I'm going to make some educated guesses in a couple of spots. I have tried to research and I've put some questions on BGG. There's not a whole lot of answers right now, so we'll see how that goes. Overall though, this game is a lot of fun and I've had a blast playing it. I've played a 3-player game of it so far and a 2-player game of it so far. Both of those were a ton of fun. So let's get right down to the table. I do, of course, want to mention Board Game Co., which is my sponsor for this video, like all my videos recently. Board Game Co. is a fantastic website to help you really fine-tune your collection. You go there, you can buy games from them. They have a great selection, great prices. You can sell games to them, so that's a great way to get rid of games. And then, of course, you can trade games with them, which is not something you necessarily find everywhere, and is a great resource. And basically, Board Game Co. lets you buy, sell, and trade your way into a better collection. So be sure to check them out. There's a link in the description below. So let's get right down the table and I'll show you how we're going to be setting up this game of Time of Legends, Joan of Arc. All right, so here is the board set up right now. My guys are down here. You can see I've got them kind of split up right now. I've got some bowmen over here in this rocky area because the rocky area gives them extra range, and you can see it's connected to these two. So I think I can kind of step up into these as well and use that same range. Not only that, but in this scenario, we can build walls from the rocky areas that will help try to stem the tide of the undead that are going to be popping up. And in fact, you know what? Let's work through each of these, and I'll show you what we've got going on. So we have bowmen here, and here is their card. So when they're going to attack with 2 yellow dice, they have range 2. When attacking, any shield results actually become disrupt instead, and they defend with 1 white die. At the start of the game, they also receive 1 stakes. As a bonus action, I can place 1 stakes in the bowman's area. And the hero, or the character right here, is John Stewart of Darnley. You can see he has charge and feint. With charge, that's basically he can move 1 space and then attack as well. And then with feint, let's see, that is when attacking, I can re-roll 1 dice once. So now this right here where it says he bowman in his area gain charge, that's not that's irrelevant. That actually is not true. They've changed that in some errata. The +1 yellow die is accurate though. So in fact, my bowman will be rolling 3 yellow dice each, and he's upgradable for 2 experience points. Over here you can see that for attacking, instead of white and red, he'll actually have 2 red. He also gains engineer and rally, but he loses feint. Engineer allows him to build fires and build barricades, I believe. And then rally basically turns him into a rally point, so that when units come out of the infirmary, they can rally to him as well, and as well as our normal rally point down here. And then we also have, when defending, we can cancel 1 push result. And his command ability goes on level 1 is just his current area, and he can command 1 unit. And then back here, it spreads out to one area away and 2 units. Then down here we have our halberdiers, who let's see, I love these guys right here. All right, so they have white die for attack, but for defense they have red and white. Now they have retaliation, because normally that red die is not very good for defense, but when you have retaliation it is, because basically anything they roll when defending, you can apply kill, disrupt, or push results obtained from their defense dice, and those cannot be blocked. And then also you can see when attacking, they get +1 white die against ground troops. Or I should say non-mounted troops. And the hero that's there with them is Robert Knowles. He has mercenary ability, which means that he can be commanded. He has charge, which we've already covered, and he has ruthless. Let's see, what is ruthless? When attacking, the player may spend a legend token to change a disrupt result obtained by this unit to a kill result. So legend tokens are something that we'll be getting throughout the game, possibly. And so basically they make him more deadly. Instead of disrupting, he actually straight out kills a unit. Now, gain 1 experience point each time Robert Knowles destroys an enemy unit. He has 3 health. What do we, by the way, John Stewart has 2 health. And we've got a red and yellow die for attacking, black and white for defending, and a 1/1 command ability. Now, right here in this space, we have our culverin. You can see right here. It has targeting, which means that it decide, like if it was, in this case, I don't have to follow the normal rules for assigning damage to the bad guys, because the game tells me which order they would receive it. Instead, I can choose anybody in the area that I attacked. In the normal game, when you're playing against another player, the attacking player decides who gets which results of the attack, as opposed to normally the defensive player is the one that would assign that. You can see 3 yellow dice, 2 range. When attacking, blank results count as pushes, and then a black die for defense. By the way, the forest here allow me to build stakes, so that'll be helpful. And then I'm planning on moving this guy to here to get that extra range and to build walls. The guy that is with the culverin is Seguin de Botafogo, mercenary, ruthless, engineer, and parry. So what is parry? When defending against melee attacks, this unit can re-roll 1 dice. See, he attacks black and white. He has white for defense. And then once per round, if you spend a legend token, draw 2 legend cards, keep 1 and discard the other. Once per turn, reduce the cost of a legend card by 1, 3 health, and in his area, he can command 1 unit. And then finally over here, I'm planning on having these guys move up into this forest and build some stakes before probably converging back over, trying to get together with, we'll see, possibly get together with them. The more combined we can get, the better usually, but you also want to use the terrain. So who do we have? This guy right here is our executioner. You can see he attacks with a yellow die. He has a white defense, but when attacking, if the Inquisitor is in the same area or in an adjacent area, the blank yellows become a kill. And when attacking, if you spend 1 legend token, re-roll 1 die. Well, so obviously we want that guy to be with the Inquisitor, and as luck would have it, the Inquisitor is down there with him right here. So the Inquisitor has no attack on his own. He has a black defense die. At the start of your turn, roll 1 die on a shield result. Take a experience point or a legend token from an opponent's player board. In this case, I'm going to say, because I don't want that ability to just be wasted, so I'm going to say that I would just get to choose which one of those I take, or maybe I'll take one randomly so that it's not completely up to me, because the AI doesn't collect those tokens, so they would never have them. So we're just going to say that I randomly get one. He has the prayer ability, by the way, which, let's see, prayer. If basically it lets me gain either a legend token or an experience point token each turn. You can spend 2 legend tokens to gain 1 intrigue token, which I don't believe is going to be of any use in this scenario. And the Inquisitor can only command the Executioner, but you can see he can command him 2 areas away, and he has 2 life. And then the third person in that area is Arnold de Servole. Red and white for attack, black and red for defense, mercenary, charge, retaliation, and prayer. And interrupt cannot be played by an opponent in an area adjacent. Well, the AI doesn't play interrupt, so this ability is actually completely useless. He has 3 health, and then 1/2 for his command. So really, that guy's ability is not any good for me. However, this stuff right here, he's very good at attacking and dealing damage between the red die over here for the attack and the red die here on the defense with retaliation. Some other things to keep in mind as we're playing. There's a number of spots that the enemy could potentially rally to. So up here you see these different tokens, and those are all going to eventually be revealed as undead. And then, but when I kill them, I can't ever fully kill the undead in this scenario. They will always just be considered disrupted. So, and you know, I'll explain exactly what that means. But basically, when they're disrupted, they're going to eventually rally from there. In the normal game, and with actually not just normal game, with my units, if they get disrupted, they potentially die as a result of that. But with the undead, they're always going to come back. And when they come back, there's a number of different rally points that they could potentially come back to. In round 1 and 2, most of the time they'll rally here, but sometimes they may rally right here at these ruins, which could put them right on top of me. Then in round 3, they could end up over here at this shrine as a rally point. The ruins are also possible, but then this space and this space are the other 2 possibilities. So lots of possibilities in round 3 for where they could end up. You can see it's a little bit closer. And then in round 4 and 5, this space over here on the edge of the screen, here, or here are the potential spots for them to come back. All right, so this is the dashboard here, and there's a number of different things that happen here, but let's real quick, let me tell you about when I was saying how if one of my units gets disrupted, they'll end up here. And then what happens at the end of a round is I roll this die. And if I end up with a disrupted sign, then the unit will just stay here. If I end up with the this sign, that means that they have delayed rally. They'll come here, and then at the end of the next round, they'll automatically rally. If instead I get this symbol, that means they have rallied, and they'll go to my rally point. And if I get this symbol, then they have died and are completely out of the game. You can also see there's 3 more sets of undead that could potentially show up. And then this is the round deck. Basically, this is going to be, we got 5 cards here, and I'm going to show you what the first one's going to be. These are specific cards that are assigned to the deck, but then I've shuffled it up so I don't know the order of the cards. So in the first round, I'll have 3 activation orders automatically, and then I also get 1 for each of my characters that are still in the game. In this case, I have 5 characters, so I'm actually going to start with 8 activation orders to begin with. Now, additionally, we have these cards over here, and let's go and reveal what they're going to be to start with. So I can get 3 experience points. This is 2 legend tokens. Spend 2 legend tokens to get 1 activation. Spend 3 to get 1 interrupt, 3 to get 1 reactivation, or 3 to get 1 charge. And that is a reactivation. Okay, so that was a setup for Time of Legends Joan of Arc. Be sure to come back in a few days when I finally get the rest of the gameplay up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. And until next time, if you're bored online, board offline.